Greek mythology isn't just gods and heroes, it's downright bizarre. From cursed cows to edible kids, these myths will blow your mind. Welcome back to another episode of Secret Archives. Today we're going to deep dive into unexplored events of Greek mythology, but they were actually crucial in the story of Olympus and the gods. 1. The donkey judges of the Underworld. In one obscure myth, King Midas was punished with donkey ears for his poor judgment in a music contest. But did you know donkeys also played a role in the Underworld? A lesser-known myth says two magical donkeys were tasked with deciding which souls crossed into Hades. They'd bray loudly. Imagine your afterlife judged by stubborn donkeys. Weird, right? 2. Arachne's spider curse. Everyone knows Arachne became a spider, but the full story? It's wilder. Arachne, a mortal, challenged Athena to a weaving contest. She created a flawless tapestry mocking the gods' scandals. Athena, furious but impressed, destroyed it. When Arachne tried to hang herself in despair, Athena turned her into a spider so she could weave forever. Harsh much? This is where we get the word arachnid. 3. Hera's breast milk made the Milky Way. The Milky Way's origin? Hera's accidental generosity. Baby Heracles, Zeus's son with a mortal, needed divine milk to become immortal. Zeus tricked Hera into nursing him, but when she realized, she pushed him away. Her spilled milk sprayed across the heavens, forming the Milky Way. Who knew a cosmic event could be caused by a celestial tantrum? 4. The river that made you forget. In the Underworld, most souls drank from the river Lethe to forget their past lives. But here's the twist. Some souls avoided it to remember and seek reincarnation. Drinking or not drinking was a gamble. Live again or stay at peace forever. This lesser-known part of the afterlife reveals how ancient Greeks saw memory and identity as fluid as the river itself. 5. Cronis ate a rock. Most know Cronis devoured his kids to avoid being overthrown, but here's the unpopular detail. Zeus escaped because Rhea tricked Cronis by giving him a swaddled rock instead of the baby. Cronis, none the wiser, swallowed it whole. Later, Zeus freed his siblings by making Cronis vomit. A god who can't tell a baby from a rock? Peak Greek mythology weirdness. 6. A goat saved Zeus. When baby Zeus was hidden from Cronis, it wasn't just his mom protecting him. Amalthea, a magical goat, nursed him with her milk. In gratitude, Zeus placed her horn in the sky as the cornucopia, or the horn of plenty. Her hide, it became his indestructible aegis shield. A goat literally saved Olympus. Goats deserve more credit in mythology. 7. Hermes invented the lyre with a turtle. Hermes is known as a trickster, but his inventiveness is underrated. As a baby, he found a turtle, killed it, and used its shell to craft the first lyre, a stringed instrument. He later gave it to Apollo to settle a dispute after stealing his cattle. Imagine creating music history with a random turtle. Hermes truly thought outside the shell. 8. The Madness of Io. A mortal priestess caught Zeus's eye. Big mistake. To hide their affair, Zeus turned her into a cow. Hera, suspicious, sent a gadfly to chase Io endlessly across the world. The poor cow swam across seas, giving names like the Ionian Sea. Her tortured journey finally ended in Egypt, where she became human again. A cow running from a fly, one of mythology's oddest odysseys. 9. Tiresias's gender swap. Tiresias, the famous blind prophet, lived as both a man and a woman. How? He struck two mating snakes and was transformed into a woman for 7 years. Later, striking them again reversed the change. Zeus and Hera once asked Tiresias which gender had more pleasure. His answer, women enjoy it more, infuriated Hera, who blinded him. Zeus compensated with prophetic powers. What a trade. 10. The cursed necklace of Harmonia. The necklace of Harmonia was a beautiful gift, with a deadly curse. Anyone who owned it suffered endless misfortune. Its victims included Jocasta, who married her son Oedipus, and later their descendants. Even the gods steered clear of this cursed bling. Sometimes a shiny accessory just isn't worth it. 11. Hephestus trapped Hera. When Hephestus, the blacksmith god, was thrown from Olympus as a baby by Hera, he plotted revenge. Years later, he crafted a golden throne as a gift for her. When Hera sat, she became trapped by invisible bonds. None of the gods could free her until Hephestus agreed, on the condition he'd be welcomed back to Olympus. Petty and brilliant. 12. The bees of Aristaeus. Aristaeus, the god of beekeeping, once lost all his bees due to his carelessness. To fix this, he sacrificed animals and left their carcasses to rot. From their remains, swarms of new bees emerged. This bizarre method, known as bougonia, was how ancient Greeks believed bees reproduced. Rotting animals as beehives? That's next level weird. 13. The belly button of the world. The ancient Greeks believed the center of the world was marked by the Omphalos stone at Delphi. According to myth, Zeus released two eagles from opposite ends of the earth, and they met at this spot. The stone supposedly symbolizes the belly button of the world. A rock as the earth's navel, only in Greek mythology. 14. Apollo's cow revenge. When Hermes stole Apollo's cattle as a baby, Apollo was furious, but instead of punishing him, he struck a deal. Hermes had to give him the lyre he he invented. Apollo traded his anger for music, proving even gods had to compromise. A baby thief and a barter system. Greek myths were oddly practical. 15. The one-eyed builders of Olympus. The Cyclops weren't just brutish monsters, they were master craftsmen. These one-eyed giants forged Zeus's thunderbolts, Poseidon's trident, and Hades' helmet of invisibility. Their handiwork helped the Olympians win the Titanomachy. Who knew one eye was all you needed to craft divine weapons? 16. Zeus turned into a swan. Zeus, king of the gods, was infamous for his shape-shifting escapades. One of the strangest, he turned into a swan. Why? To seduce? Or some say trick. Leda, the queen of Sparta. The bizarre part? After their encounter, Leda laid 2 eggs. Yes, eggs. From these hatched Helen of Troy and her siblings. A swan, eggs, and the face that launched 1,000 ships. Classic Greek mythology weirdness. 17. The punishment of Prometheus. Prometheus, the titan who gave fire to humans, faced one of the most bizarre punishments. Zeus chained him to a rock, and every day, an eagle swooped in to eat his liver. But here's the kicker. His liver grew back overnight, only for the torment to repeat. Imagine being stuck in a never-ending organ buffet. This gruesome cycle lasted for centuries until Heracles came to the rescue. 18. Athena's birth. Athena didn't have a typical birth. Zeus swallowed her pregnant mother Metis to avoid a prophecy that her child would overthrow him. Later, Zeus got a terrible headache. No aspirin would help, so he called Hephestus, who split Zeus's skull open with an axe. Out sprang Athena, fully grown and armed. A literal headache turned into the goddess of wisdom. Talk about over-the-top origins. 19. The curse of the Minotaur. Ever wonder how the Minotaur, a half-man, half-bull, came to be? It started with King Minos offending Poseidon. As revenge, the sea god cursed Minos' wife, Pasiphae, to fall in love with a bull. Yes, a literal bull. Pasiphae had Daedalus build her a wooden cow suit to consummate the union. The result? The monstrous Minotaur who was trapped in the labyrinth. Ancient Greece had no chill. 20. Sisyphus and the Rock. Sisyphus was a trickster who cheated death, not once, but twice. For his crimes, the gods condemned him to an eternal punishment, rolling a massive boulder uphill. But here's the twist. Every time he got close to the top, the boulder rolled back down. Forever stuck in this maddening task, Sisyphus became the ultimate symbol of futility. Moral of the story? Don't mess with the gods. 21. The Madness of Orestes. Orestes, son of Agamemnon and Clytemnestra, faced divine punishment for avenging his father. After killing his mother to avenge Agamemnon's murder, Orestes was tormented by the Furies, goddesses of vengeance. These terrifying spirits hounded him relentlessly, driving him to madness. His ordeal only ended when Athena intervened, establishing a trial to absolve him. This myth highlights the ancient Greek exploration of justice and guilt. 22. Dionysus and the pirate punishment. Dionysus, the god of wine, was once captured by pirates who didn't recognize his divinity. They planned to sell him as a slave, but their mistake cost them dearly. Dionysus filled their ship with vines and summoned wild animals to terrify them. When they tried to escape, he transformed them into dolphins. This myth explains why dolphins were considered sacred to Dionysus, a quirky punishment for a divine misunderstanding.